Elation for England at the home of cricket as India's attempted heist ends in heartbreak. India go down by 22 runs on a pulsating day 5. Slow moving but pulsating at the same time as England go 2-1 up in the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Sanjay Manjrekar joins us on ESPN Cricinfo Match Day to look back on what was quite a test match, and I will come to that. But let's start with that finish. A valiant effort from India, but eventually the last half hour from day 4 and the first half hour from day 5 proved too costly.
Last half hour from day 4 more than what happened on day 5, because when the innings started, when the run chase started, evening day 4, I thought with India's batting form they would get there, and I thought 80-20 in India's favour. But when they lost 3 crucial wickets, we won't count Akashdeep's wicket there, but 3 crucial wickets, then I was looking at morning session, 2 reasonably new batters. I was looking at the game as 70-30 England. So that is where I felt, day 4 evening was where India was set back a little bit.
So let's go there first. Those batters, it would have been a painful night for Yashasvi Jaiswal already, but now that the result also goes against you, to look back on that kind of a shot, for Shubman Gill to fall short for a change, and then even Pant and Rahul at them, that batting group, what will they be going through right now, and what is it that they could have done differently?
Well, Jaiswal clearly played a poor shot. You could see that his mind was pre-programmed to take on Jofra Archer with the short ball, and had he just gone with the line and hit him over point would have been a better option. So he fell for that. Karun Nair, I believe, has some issues, and I don't know how long India will persist with him. So that's with Karun Nair. Shubman Gill, I completely connect his performance, especially in the second inning where he looked really tentative and missed 4 deliveries, in the channel, which he normally never does. It had a lot to do with the kind of reception that he got at the crease. So he might be working on that. But these guys will take all this to heart, because they've come here with tremendous confidence, believing that they can beat England the way they've batted. So KL Rahul as well wasn't able to carry on. Rishabh Pant got a beauty, but they'll all be digging deep and looking to get better, because that is how they think. They think they are good enough to contribute more and beat England.
Yeah, and at the end of day 4, you had said you will look forward to a grind and hopefully a win for India. That grind came through Ravindra Jadeja, 181 balls, 35 overs for just the last 2 wickets. Valiant before it fell short.
Yes, but I'd like to look a little deeper into that whole innings. There was one attempt at playing, shot, went for a 6, but I don't think there were too many attempted attacking shots. Sometimes you attempt and you can't get that away. For me, one telling moment was when he got to his 50 and India was still a few runs short. You saw the reaction of the dressing room when he got a 50. There were a couple of people applauding, everyone was applauding. But I don't think there was excitement inside and the belief that Jadeja will take them through. So somewhere maybe the conditions out there, because if you had to get 30 runs, you had to bat for 15 overs. The writing was somewhere on the wall. And there was nothing that Jadeja was doing that was, changing that. He got India very close, but deep down everyone felt that India could have been a little more attacking. But if they had been more attacking, who knows, the game would have finished earlier.
You've pretty much ended your answer with what I thought would be my next question. Would a little more intent have meant India getting home, or things finishing faster?
Let me answer that. It's a good question, because look at Nitish Kumar Reddy and Jadeja's partnership. Yeah. They played well. They had absolutely no issue with the bowling. Their defense was solid, and it seemed like they were there for a long, long time. Added just 30 runs.
15 overs.
Yeah, and that is where I thought India weren't putting enough pressure on England. Maybe right towards the end, England would have felt the pressure of losing the game after what happened in the morning session. While that partnership was happening, no way was England given the feeling that they could lose the game, because that partnership was taking India nowhere. Time was being taken out, but India was not playing for a draw. Having said that, we can never be too critical of somebody like a Nitish Kumar Reddy. These are all young boys, trying to make a mark on their first experience in England.
Yeah, and there's no denying the good from England on 14th of July, which now becomes such a marked date for them. 6 years ago, this day, They won that iconic ODI World Cup final. The two architects have played their role, and Steve Harmison has shared his thoughts on Stokes and Archer. But I won't take the opportunity away from you on just shedding light on that performance from Ben Stokes throughout this game.
Yeah, player of the match when guys have got 5 wickets and hundreds. This is the guy who didn't get a 50 or not even a 5-wicket haul. But this is what Ben Stokes does. Very often, you see the scorecard and you wonder what's the Ben Stokes contribution here. And a lot of people after the series would say that Ben Stokes was the difference. But you saw live, if you watched the whole game, you saw the difference that he makes in the way he manufactures a wicket, scale Rahul's wicket. The long spell when Bashir was not likely to bowl, that run out in the middle of a spell because he saw Pant stutter a little bit. So he's a champion cricketer and comes into bowl, on day 5 morning with the new ball against people like KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant. Just a guy who makes things happen.
Yep, made a lot of things happen in this test. Pretty much every time England needed it. Now, when India zoom out of this test, as heartbreaking as the finish was, it's a pattern which was there in the first test as well. You can identify moments where the game seemed to be in their control and moments that they will come to rue. Of all of those from this test, is it fair to say the Pant run out cost them the most?
Yes, and I'll say this also, you're right, whenever you lose a match, there are always not one moment, there are 5 or 6. Even with winning, there are 5 or 6 winning moments. But India didn't blunder in a test match where you saw, very often, just cast your mind back to matches that we've seen in the past, Indian matches, where you could see a straightforward blunder. So that is amazing about this young team, that they haven't made those kind of mistakes. Rishabh Pant's run out, yes, but who's to know that there could have been another great delivery, and gotten him out as well. But Rishabh Pant out there for a little while means 40, 50 runs more. So that is clearly one point. And I want to stress again on the drama that happened evening day 3, because that got England fired up, and the captain wasn't the same player in the second innings like he was. So that hurt India a little bit. And finally, Washington Sundar's introduction, a spinner's introduction very late in the innings, in second innings, also may have cost India 30-40 runs.
And to that we could add those 25 byes. It's not fair to appropriate all of that on Dhruv Jurel. There were some really stray wides which you couldn't have held on to, but still the amount of extras, especially when you end up losing by 22 runs.
Yes, I mean, that is something that you look at, but can you be too hard on Dhruv Jurel because he's come in as a stand-in keeper? But clearly there's one thing I've noticed about Jurel is that like a lot of Indian keepers, he looks far more accomplished when he's keeping against spinners than when he's close to the stumps.
All of that aside, and there will be things for India to mull over, we can't let go of this test without celebrating what was a true testament to this format. I know we say it too often, great advertisement for test cricket, but this really was.
We all might be surprised that this format might actually outlive 50 overs cricket. And people will get fed up of 50 overs cricket, because this is a bit like life lessons, which I've said many times. You get a chance to come back, and the real hero is somebody who wins the long race, and all that was there to see. We also saw typical sort of grid. We saw Bumrah, a number 10 batter, batting for an hour and 40 minutes. Then we saw Ben Stokes bowl that long spell, Siraj bowling his heart out, Joe Root with his class act in the first innings, and all that drama, the hostility. Now that is the big takeaway for me. Test cricket, I want Test cricket to not be a friendly match between two sides, which sometimes you get the impression when you're watching. This is more like it. Let this be the acid test of players.
Yeah, and it almost doesn't seem like a modern classic, because this was England's slowest batting effort of the Bazball era. India's second innings was their second slowest test innings in more than a decade. And still we've had the kind of absorbing test match action. So long live test cricket.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sanjay Manjrekar. Always a pleasure having your company. We'll look forward to your insights through the rest of this series.